Yes, my fellow friend, we've come here to fulfill the bargain. You have the item, no?
Yes, the dragon's tooth you said, right?
Correct.
Yes, I have it in here. And he just kind of like heads into what should be a dining room.
Should be, okay. Mm-hmm.
And in there is a wonderful looking bone tied to a stick with some things carved into it. I'm not sure why it's not glowing, but here it is. The dragon's tooth. You said you'd buy it for 200 gold, yes?
Just a question. How obvious of a scam is this thing?
Real scrutiny.
Actually
I think that's the skill, right?
Let's see. Is scrutiny a skill?
I don't think scrutiny is not a skill.
Let me look at the skill list.
Would it just be
evaluate, maybe?
I'd allow evaluate. I'd allow search.
Would you allow what's called tradesmith?
Yes, I'd also allow tradesmith. Evaluate or tradesmith.
Sure, great phone.
Or weaponsmith or whatever.
I'm gonna spend a fate point to try and reroll that because never
you have enough of a bonus.
Okay.
Yeah, this is a piece of shit. It looks like This looks like, in fact, a shitty bone spear that someone took 2 days to make.
Griffon walks up to the like stick and like holds it up. Like looks it over a couple of times, shakes his head. He lifts the stick up and smashes it onto a nearby table as he turns to look at him with fire in his eyes. I'm not sure what I should be more annoyed about. That you were trying to trick me, or it took you 2 days to make something of this garbage, he says.
As you were turning, Siegfried, were you watching him the whole time?
Yeah.
As like Griffon is smashing this on the table and is turning to look at the guy, he is booking it for the back door.
Okay, well, Siegfried's gonna try and I suppose
you can just kind of step in the way.
Yeah.
In an instant, Griffon's rapier is in his hand as he points it like straight at the chest at him. Where is the dragon's tooth?
I don't even know what that is.
Your grandfather's grandfather or whatever it is, my grandfather lent it to him on a promise of return, by the honor of our families, as he holds out like the receipt that's, as I said, is still barely legible, and I don't think either anyone but anyone can read it in this room, but he's still holding it out like it's a shield.
I don't even know.
You must have had some bill of purchase or something.
I can't even read what language that said.
So what did you say, sorry, Sec?
He said I can't even tell what language it's in, let alone read it.
Do you have no memory of your formerly prosperous non-greedy scummy family selling this thing? He recites the entire thing again about basically...
I'm only 25! I wasn't even alive 200 years ago.
And where's your parents then, you bastard?
Dead!
And you've no book of bills, book of rights, no family inscriptions of the deals you must have made once, or did you sell that to for toilet paper?
Who the hell keeps records for 200 years?
Dwarves.
Look,
yeah.
I can show you where my parents' records were. You can look through those if you want.
Yeah, you better damn not try to run. Keep an eye on Siegfried.
Sure.
He like this is like more like almost like it is 2 stories. So he like goes upstairs and like kind of like shifts some stuff around to like try to climb up and like get to the attic hatch. It's one of those where like the ladder's inside the door. And so like finally gets it open and like says it's in one of the boxes up there.
Griffon pokes his rapier at the chest. First, my friend goes, then you go. Don't even think about running. And if there's nothing but rat shit up there, oh no.
He's just kind of like holding his hands up and like trying to back away from the blades. Like, all right, just don't stab me, please.
All right. I presume Siegfried, him, and then me follow him up to the upstairs. And
Yes.
how bad does it look?
Dusty and cobwebby as hell. Like it hasn't been cleaned in who knows how long. The air is stale. There's no airflow whatsoever. And like the only light is like a small lantern he brought up with him. It'll be in one of these boxes. Maybe.
Maybe. So, how many boxes are around here? A couple, dozens, 100 tiny garbage boxes?
12. That you can see.
Oh god. Griffon puts his face hand in his face, like his rapier lowers, looks at the mess up here. Do you have even the slightest idea where we could begin looking?
Well, he like points to one of the boxes there. They're actually lined up in order of year, and around that one is when my parents started selling things off.
Alright, I'll take a look through it. Griffon like walks off, like gently pushes off some dust from the written down notes and just starts looking through.
Roll me a search.
A search. Very well.
Because I'm assuming you're not reading every single entry.
No, I'm trying to skimming through and see if there's. Oh wow, see if there's any like sort of.
Skimming through it, you in fact do find an entry for the Dragon's Tooth.
No.
That it has been sold to a noble from Kislev for the price of 300 gold.
Damn it all. Does it say any name? Anything?
Yes, just give me a minute to get a Russian name.
Understandable.
Because I literally just made that up.
Yes, I get you.
Sergei, Vasily, Ivan.
I like that you're ready with the Russian names.
Kislev.
Ivan Romanov.
Roman Romanov.
Roman Romanov. Roman Romanov of the Romanov line.
Boris, Sasha.
Da-da-da. There we go.
Mm-hmm. I see why it took you a while to come up with. Gna Zarivindanya Zavelivich.
Do you know Kislev? The Kislevite.
No, my character does
Ted.
not know Kislevite. That'd be a weird skill for a dwarf from Estalia to have, but hey, maybe I would.
Yeah, you never know. My
Yeah,
Alpine
exactly.
ninjas might have taken Kislev.
Exactly.
Kislev.
Griffon slams his fist into the hair. You sold it! Your family bloody sold the damn thing!
I didn't sell it.
Your father or mother damn well did.
Yes. It seems so.
What about the agreement honored upon by duty and family? He says, pointing to the letter that only he knows how to read.
Ow.
Like, you also see, looking at the date, that the sell date was in fact 30 years ago. This is before this guy was even born.
Yeah, my character's being a bit unreasonable. That's life.
That's enough. You got what you wanted. At least you got info on what you wanted. Get out of my house or I'll call the guard.
Oh, I'm sure you'd have things to say to the guards. In the prison, from what I can tell from this rumped lump of a place, I've seen better places in the sewers.
Let's get going, Griffon. It wasn't him
It's
that
not like you've been
sold
to
it.
sewers, that's for sure.
Let's get going, Griffon. It wasn't him that sold it. It's away.
Griffon, how do I say, rips out the page in his anger with the note written down, puts it gently in his bag, and just stares dagger at him as he lets Siegfried drag him out of there. And yeah, Griffon grumbles the entire way back.
What took so long is I had to look up the correct rank of Russian nobility.
Oh no. Well, we'll meet that guy eventually. Now we gotta go to Kislev, right? Right, guys?
I hope you're putting that in your notes somewhere. Because I'm sure as hell not going to remember it.
Oh yeah, I write down all my backstory stuff.
Anyways, so fast forwarding back, you guys have been requested by the apothecary to come in for a checkup. Is the what the message says.
Heading towards the alchemist.
Of course.
Yep.
As you arrive, he does appear to be open once more. He looks at you all and says, "Here for your checkup?"
That's what we're here for.
Right.
Wait time will be about half an hour to an hour. You
Sure.
can sit over here. He'll finish up with like the patient that he's on and a couple more patients that were in line behind you. Then he'll lead you on to his office room. He says, "Sorry for the cloak and dagger. I'm sure you can understand. I've discovered something disturbing about this plague.
Of course,
It is not a disease. At the very least, not just a disease. The grey goo is very reminiscent to an old disease that has really been seen once in Talea, I believe it was. That disease then was called the Pale Shivers. It is both a disease and a poison.
Ah. A disease that is also a poison.
And what does that entail exactly? What does that mean?
So there's this substance that can infect. And then with the infection, it can then spread from person to person. This substance using the body to make more of itself.
Wait, what?
Those that are ill with the disease make more of the substance causing this disease. And when they spread it to someone else through contact or miasma, it also infects them and their body starts to make it.
Okay, I think I get it. What does it mean for those that have... I'm sorry.
I think from what I've discovered from what you had to what others have had is those that have gotten sick in this city, you said you started feeling it while you're outside, have something extra to it. It's almost like a catalyst, making the disease worse.
So is there any way to cure it?
Well, now that we understand that it is a disease and a poison, giving this knowledge to the Shellions and others trying to treat it will be priceless.
Then we should contact them as soon as possible, yes?
Yes.
Very well. Zagreus will going to have to make another trip to Gosrow.
Although we actually now have a chance of repelling this thing.
I wish you luck. I will continue to try my best here.
Take care.
Indeed, stay safe.
I would, as you guys are traveling through the city, please roll me gossip checks.
Okay.
Now to fail horribly.
Great, I will spend a fortune point on that.
Same.
How many
These
passes
gossip
did you
checks
get?
are something else.
Is
Um,
this 2? 3?
3. The humans, basically.
Success by 3.
What was that?
Oh,
It was Siegfried, Rolf, and
Let's
Zagreus,
see.
which succeeded. So
So-
the humans succeeded.
Let's see, Siegfried. Actually, I'll give this one to Getchok. You've heard that a number of young litigants, and even a few more liberal judges, have begun poring through the old law books to cite ancient laws regarding Talabheim's appropriate behavior under conditions similar to those the city now finds itself under. Supposedly, an old law holds that the city must pay all volunteers a shilling a day. Griffon, you have heard that fires set by the flagellants have destroyed 2 of Talagad's neighborhoods. Kadra, you've heard that Tal's chosen, which is Tal's clergy, Tal also being the god of the hunt, they are impressive hunters, have been pressed into service by the dog faces, the militia. They have been ordered to hunt down and execute volunteers that desert.
Fascinating.
And I'll give Griffon a different one since you guys already had rumors of the fires in Talagad. The standing army of Talabheim is camped about the Grand Manor because the Duchess fears an assassination attempt.
An entire army?
The army around one manor. That's a big manor or a small army?
It's the Duchess of Talabheim, of Talabheim. So yes, it is a very large, it is the Grand Manor. Let's see, then the Trews.
Bathroom?
Siegfried.
Yep.
The great orator judge Rainier Hindemith has announced all nobles who own property in Talabheim are required by law to assist in protecting their possessions by bearing arms or risk forfeiting their holdings to those who do defend them. Several noble families have collectively spent well over 10,000 gold on barrister fees in order to disprove Hindemith's declaration. But so far, it looks as if the family's patriarchs are preparing to dust off their swords.
Okay.
Zagreus, you have heard that it is in fact not a shilling a day that the conscripted militia that must be paid, but in fact a penny. 1 copper a day.
Copper from now
And-
or copper in total?
1 copper a day that you get paid.
So a brass penny?
Copper penny. And Rolf, you have heard that while the Chosen did, however, agree to help the Chosen did agree to help the militia of their own volition. They were ordered, and they have no such orders to hunt down and execute volunteers that desert.
Okay. I will obviously share with the rest what I learned.
Yeah, what's this silver shilling you speak of? I heard it was a bronze penny, which is kind of like a brass penny, but
Oh, I missed this part. Dobler also gives each of you a small bottle filled with a syrupy fluid smelling of mint.
What's this?
This should hold you lot fast against the ague. I wish I could have made more, but this batch took me days already. I already did turn my findings over to the Shallians. Hopefully they'll be able to speed up the process. It is mixed between a booster and a poison cure. It gives you plus 40 on toughness checks to resist contracting the Grey Ague for the next few months.
Zachary drinks.
The idea that even those who caught it once can catch it again is terrifying, I'll admit.
It has happened already.
Yeah, also drinking it.
You and Madison. Down the hatch.
So, you return to your inn room, I'm assuming at some point.
Yeah.
Are you still doing watch orders while you're resting?
I mean, that's our job right now, I would assume, so probably.
I mean, like, while you're, like, you guys are sleeping, are you still, like, keeping watch at night?
Yes.
Yeah.
Given that we
Please
do have it.
give me a watch order.
Okay, so let's have a look here. So,
Griffon has been going first so far, and I think the elf should go last. So we go.
I need a definite
I would
Yeah.
probably
watch order.
I would probably say that we have the elf during the middle of the night, where they're most likely to attack.
Fine with me.
So we can probably get away with. We have 1, 2. We have 6. We can probably get away with pairs, to be honest.
Sure.
So Siegfried and
which
Kadra.
Okay, Siegfried Kadra in the middle of the night. Who wants to be at the end of the night? Priest of Moor?
Yeah.
Sure, you're at the end of the night. And Getrock, do you want to stay with Griffon, or do you want to go with the Priest of Moor? Mm-hmm.
We're talking about the sleep order, right?
Yes.
The
Watch order, yeah.
Yeah, he's already sleeping, ignoring you.
Well, in which case,
I think.
well,
What would Siegfried do when he kick him awake?
yeah, I feel like that's probably a reasonable response to us keeping watch while he sleeps on his ass. Mm-hmm. So, Well, after being kicked awake a couple of times, do you take the late watch or the early watch?
I've
Hmm.
always wondered if dwarfs sink. How about we tie them up in bed sheets and throw them in the river?
True. If nobody's keeping watch, that might happen while we're not looking. True. Hmm. We give you pointed looks.
Can I roll toughness to see if the kicking actually wakes me up?
It's gonna keep happening until you inevitably wake up.
Let's put it this way: you cannot wake up, then you'll start taking wounds.
Damn.
Mistakes were made. Hmm.
I still say we find out if dwarfs float, or they really have rocks for brains.
Well, this is gonna be the initial plan. Okay. It'll be.
I'd say
then-
Rolf goes with me because I think Rolf has decent perception.
Yeah, that was the plan.
I
Yeah.
mean, do you want? Are you sure?
Okay, everyone, roll perception. Show me your perception
My
skills,
perception
everyone.
target number is 12. I don't even have it trained.
It's the same basically as me. Oh no.
Basically, I'm wanting to ensure that we have at least one person that can see in the dark on each of these shifts. So
Sure. Alright, let's go with these.
yeah,
You're with me. We got the elf and the dwarf who don't like each other in the last bit. I'm sure that'll go perfectly fine.
it's Griffon and Rolf, Kadra and Siegfried, and then Zagreus and Getrock.
Mhm.
Oh man.
Be prepared for me and Rolf missing every perception check.
So, Kadra and Siegfried, I need you to roll me a perception. Well, you hear us. Actually, don't even need perception. Hear a soft rustling sound from outside.
Fucking cool that something at least would happen here, but I don't know what it is. So
And it's probably good that Siegfried, would you wear your armor during your watch?
I mean, it's leather armor, yeah.
Alright. You look out the window.
Siegfried's going to walk over to the window and sort of peer out of it, try not to expose his head too much.
The soft rustling sound lingers until you realize it's coming from the street outside. You move to the window, expecting maybe to see a few prowling cats or maybe some tired dog faces. But that isn't what you see. What you see is a flood of Skaven, hundreds strong, pouring down the streets and over the roofs of the buildings about you. You have less than 20 seconds before the Skaven are upon you. Make the most of them. And that is where we will end the session.
Jesus fucking Christ.
It's
I got
Vermintide.
position. I got plenty of arrows, and we're ending it. God damn it!
Well, I hope we have shit to barricade stuff with.
Would you like to know what the name of this section is?
Vermintide.
High horror
Vermintide.
thing?
Yes,
Roll
as
me
a matter
fire.
of fact. Yes, it is Vermintide.
Motherfucker.
All right,
Alright,
let's find the
boys.
closest in.
And just saying, the book says to immediately ask you what you're doing, to give you no time to think about it, but I feel it's much better to leave off on that.
Yeah, and just do that description next time. Give us 10 seconds to figure it out, and it'll be good.
Exactly.
I'm having
Because on one hand,
flashbacks.
people might figure out what they're doing, but on the other hand, most people are gonna forget about it until next session and panic again.
Exactly.
I'm having
we panic-
flashbacks. Go ahead.
Oh god. I don't know what this is about this forgetting and panicking next week. We fucking panicking all week.
Nice.
Because, the book gives me a little bit to read in case no one was sleeping, and it's whoever rolled the best on a perception check wakes up, walks over to the window, and finds this shit, and it's you got 20 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
Luckily, you guys actually kept a watch, so it's like, oh, you hear some rustling outside. You go, like, take a look. Not expecting much. Oh shit!
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, I'm so happy that we have 6 people because now we can actually have like pairs.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And then the best part is that we have 3 people here that can see in the dark. So, but you
Yes.
know what? I fucking called it, didn't I? I was like, I want Kadra at midnight shift because something is going to happen because that's when something's most likely to happen. And lo and behold,
Yeah.
something happened.
And
Mhm.
yes, you got 250 experience.
There it is.
250?
Ooh, he
Don't
said
die
that in
horribly,
ASMR
experience.
voice too.
I know.
Can't
Oh
That's
my.
That's
Something
very
about also
sexy.
Can't take the outlaw just yet.
So we would have 50
Trust me, Rolf. If you survive this, you will very likely have a bow. Also,
Yeah, that's the problem.
I do allow you to use other people's equipment to rank up, and one of you has a bow. It is an elf bow, but it is a bow.
I don't even think he can use it. Can he?
I mean, anyone can use an elf bow that can use a bow.
And that
Yes.
actually requires the proficiency.
Yeah, you need the weapon proficiency longbow group for that. But yeah. Okay, well this is certainly a thing.
And-
So
Nothing says you need to be proficient with it. You just need to have it to rank up.
I hope you're aware, Simon, just how much I want to end up like a fucking Kruber-like figure.
I love that you guys mentioned one of the Vermintide characters. It's like, oh, no, it's you guys. Who wants to take a guess on what happened to those guys? Out of character.
Out of character, I think Saltzpyre became a holy paladin of Sigmar.
No,
Mark-
the Skaven. The Skaven
Oh, the Skaven?
that you found. The Skaven
Internal
that were slaughtered by gunshots.
internal
Killed by
Oh,
from
killed
Vermintide.
by a necromancer army.
30, 40.
My lore is not that great, but I also thinking similar to Simon that it might have been like Chaos Imperials. Not Chaos Imperials, but like followers of Chaos using Imperial weaponry.
Perfect. Just curious.
Mhm.
I was initially thinking maybe the Chosen of Tal, maybe, but I don't see why they would be trying to cover things up.
They also would likely have used arrows, not guns.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh,
Maybe maybe the Inquisition's here.
Probably
Who knows?
There's probably
No,
4
it's
people
clearly
just clearing
internal
the tunnels out of
conflict.
Skaven.
Skaven on Skaven combat. Mm-hmm.
So remind me, just quickly. So, I mean, there's no point. I'll ask next week. But I was like, we're in a building that's like what? Yeah, that's what a couple of story. What, it has a couple of floors, or is it just like?
2 floors at least.
You're on the second floor.
Mhm.
The Skaven
Okay.
don't care.
Yeah, because they can climb, of course. But I couldn't remember if this was like a militia house, a militia barracks, or not, or whether it's just us there.
Yeah, this is giving me Resident Evil 4 flashbacks. The segment where you had to like defend against the horde in the house.
Yeah, that's the first thing that went through my mind as well.
Mhm.
So we should have, I think, we were at 750. We now got the extra 250, so we should have 3 advancements to spend.
Correct.
And I'm already done.
Mhm.
What
And
do I
300
need?
experience and a lot of gold for next level.
Let's see, can I advance to priest?
Hey, you get spells. Probably. Mhm.
Oh, not right
100
away.
more XP and I could advance to Hunter. Or Scout, rather.
I need. Okay, so I've got my ballistic skill up. That's now 42, despite the fact I've yet to use a ranged weapon.
Let's see, you said 250. So
Yes, as it turns out, soldier has quite a lot in its advancement scheme to fill out before I can actually complete it. I also need. Let me have a quick look. The problem is we haven't really come across any other ranged weapons. Because I
How much
need.
do we all have?
We have a total of 1,000. We got 250. So we should have we should have 3 advancements to spend because
That's how I planned it.
Was it the 100 for getting a talent?
Yes.
Yep.
All right.
So, most people should have just enough to hit their second career period.
Yep. I
So
need
remember,
200 to level up.
Once you're in your second career, you now need to buy the talents and skills. You don't just get that for free.
Mhm.
Big
It's just
scam,
your
but
third
that's life.
career.
Now,
Oh my god, where did I put this thing?
A question: if I were to gain 200 experience or like 300 experience, but I don't have the gear, do I save that experience until I level up, or
Yes.
is it wasted? Okay.
Yeah.
yeah,
And then
my
you
problem
get the gear
is
and just offload it.
Actually, I'm gonna do this actually. So we do that, and then I'm gonna buy. So I'm increasing ballistic skill by 5, and then I'm gonna grab 2 talents.
yeah,
In
my
case.
problem is I'm gated right now till I can get 50 gold coins or gold crowns.
I am going to what is the career you're going into?
Engineer.
And Griffon, or Julius, what career are you going into?
A duelist, it seems.
I have an offer for you two.
Oh,
Because what do you need? You need guns.
I need a gun and I need an offhand weapon. Let me go find what it was called exactly.
Yeah, I need
So
I need
here's
trade
the thing,
tools. My
it
big
doesn't
thing.
actually cost money to go into the career. Like you just need to have it, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm willing to waive the gold. Like still try to get it as soon as possible, but I'm willing to waive that. And I'm willing to waive the gun until you can get one. But you can't like grab the things that let you use guns, if that makes sense.
Of course.
And I'm willing to do this with anyone, but I think the rest of you have all the shit you need.
Yeah, it's just the armor that I need, but we should hopefully be coming across that relatively soon.
I think I have enough to advance into priest now.
So if that's the case.
The very big thing is like you're probably not going to be getting the gold soon, and you'll probably eventually come across the gun. Actually, I know you will come across the gun because I read it, and you will find actually a duelist. So you could just take his gun. He's dead.
Oh, of course, it's an enemy who shoots us with the gun. It's like,
But yeah,
after I get shot by a bullet, can I use this bullet to level up, Zach?
But yeah, like you guys aren't going to be finding gold for a while. So I think it's only fair to waive that.
Sounds great.
Alright, so then let me take that off, and yeah, I'm.
If you have
going...
everything else.
I just need to find the class. This page is
Yeah, I have all the profile stuff. So yeah, I can go into being an engineer then.
All the other trappings and stuff too, or is it the trappings literally just 50 gold?
It's pretty much you need the trade tools. Is pretty much the no.
Is that why you need 50 gold?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm gonna be right back.
In that case, you would have to spend it, and you would actually need the trade tools.
That's what I figured.
Trade tools engineer.
Yep.
Let me look at engineer and get back to you on that. If not, you'll find some random engineer's tools.
She's being excessively needy today.
I will have one technical question regarding the Roll20 sheet, because there is something that doesn't make sense for me. So, On basic skills, we have like training, train plus 10% plus 20, and on the right you have advanced, and you have 3 boxes you can tick, but they do not change the numbers, and I'm not sure
No,
what's their purpose.
That is to keep track of advancements you have spent.
Ooh, got it.
You'll notice there's also an advanced box next to all the talents. There's an advanced box for when you go into a new career. The only thing that doesn't have it is your statistics, but you can do math to get that. And it's basically to count up your advancements if you think you ever missed some, to keep track of it. So the
Got
stuff
it.
that you got to start with, do not mark as an advance.
Yeah, I need a main gauge and a pistol with
Very
powder.
well.
You'll definitely be getting that because you're going to be finding a guy soon, eventually.
Yep.
And I
Fuck
still
it.
need to look at.
I'm gonna delay
engineering.
myself by 100 XP, but I'm buying the flea talent.
Probably not a bad idea. I was
Probably-
wondering
There's going to be
myself.
a lot of that later on. Don't worry.
Probably might not help me too much, because I assume the Skaven are fucking quicker than a peasant, but will be something.
Yeah. In
Engineers
my
kit.
case, I was wondering if I should grab the swashbuckler talent, which allows me to leap as half an action. Except I don't know if it's worth it at all.
Depends on how much you want to leap.
True. It's just that it's kind of, how do I say, kind of heavily dependent upon the battle maps. I feel the use of it. And I don't know if this is. Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting, actually.
Well, say you're like chasing someone, it could be useful then too.
True. Let's see.
You know,
I like the idea of it.
a certain guy that doesn't want to pay his debts.
That dude. Also, by the way, I was totally expecting him to bring like 4 dudes to try and beat me up and take my money, to be entirely honest. Out of character, that's what I was expecting.
Well,
Look, he's not
if I followed you, I probably would have did it. Just out of spite.
I like how the dwarf that doesn't like the Talayan dwarf is taking a career that can give him knowledge Talaya and speak language Talayan.
Rip that guy.
Honestly, the ending gave me a bit of a whiplash because it's like slow, and then at the end it went from fucking 0 to 100 very fast.
That's the point. That's the point.
It's good. It's a good one.
Yeah. You'll have to wait for the engineer's kit, but I'll make sure you find an engineer's kit.
All right.
There's probably be a lot of dead people from the rats.
Yes. Like, hey, there's like a little workshop over there. That it looks like everyone's dead inside of it. Is it looting when the city doesn't exist anymore?
Well, yeah,
at that point it's archaeology.
but
Yeah, I will. I need to go do stuff. I will return in some time and talk to people if they're still here.
Yep.
All right.
Alright.
I need to make some food.
have a good one. Have a good day, second. Thanks for the session. See, swashbuckler. Jump leap as half an action.
Too bad Flea doesn't help me in direct combat. As it happens, it doesn't make me able to go back up more quickly, but if everything's gone, and if I want to try and see if Rolf can live to another day, it might be useful.
Hey, there we go.
Hmm. Honestly, if they attack us at midnight, then I assume that's gonna be a new day, which means the fortune points restock, I think.
It's a whole new day.
Definitely meant that you should have at least a chance of surviving the rat horde. Mm.
Yeah, I do wonder how they gonna be like mechanically started out.
I mean, I think most likely won't face all of them, but rather they'll be murdering civilian and everything around us as we just try and survive. Mm-hmm.
It's a rat. It's a rat attack. So, why are we suddenly fighting Pokemon?
Rat-a-tat, rat-a-tat.
All right. Well, I gotta pop out, so I
Take work.
will. Yeah, you too.
Bye.
Bye.
Yeah, later.
All right, the creeper's not here. Start talking about her.
Wow, kinda rude, dude.
Nah,
Kinda rude, dude.
I'm not that evil yet.
Of course. Mm-hmm.
There we go. Yeah, I'm still waiting to hear back from Quirk whether or not she's going to join in the Rune Lords or not.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, the only not the only, but positive thing of playing character Rolf, he doesn't have to make a decision. He's gonna look at Zeke and what do we do, Master Siegfried? I mean, we stay and fight for Sigmar.
The Chargers dies immediately. Sigurd goes, "Alright guys, we run now." But wow, running away from making decisions.
Honestly, it's like probably either. Otherwise, to be sure, I'm not sure if running away would give us something. I think like barricade the fuck out of this place.
Yeah. I don't think we're all running the rats. They're good at chasing people down. I do like, by the way, the thematic appropriacy of us surviving this and going to our next classes.
And then we all die horribly.
Yeah, that's when we don't get our news classes.
Yeah. Yeah, because my theory is, oh look, he's a dwarf miner. Oh crap, he's a dwarf miner that knows how to make gunpowder.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm gonna go take a nap. I'll catch you guys later.
Yep.
Have a good day.
See ya.
Around.
Next week.
Yes, yeah. Thankfully, have tomorrow as a day off, so I don't have to leave early.
Mm-hmm.
The more I think about it, I like the change. Like very Warhammer like that. Oh, nothing's happening, and then suddenly fucking Skaven horde, bitch.
Mm-hmm. All right, guys. So you're just patrolling the sewers, and it's garbage, and holy shit, there's an army of rats. Mm-hmm.
It's a rat attack. We will not be seen tomorrow.
If we are not seen tomorrow, well, it was good. No.
Send in the red shirts first.
I'm trying to remember how many windows there are and how many. I think there's only the one door.
Leading to our rooms, yes. One door, I'm pretty sure. Windows, at the very least one. Because, well...
I suppose this is the benefit, by the way, of not having any armor. I can just leap up and be just as deadly as normal. I should have bought a helmet. We'll see how it goes.
I mean, you are not Zagreus. The rats will not try to eat your face. Unless they will.
Unless they will, huh?
My mind is just going to the Mines of Moria scene from Lord of the Rings.
They're coming, girl.
They have a rat ogre.
Yeah.
Of course they have.
And then we just get yeeted.
Yeah, by the way, I just said that, yeah, Rolf doesn't have to make a decision. He's just gonna look at Siegfried and like, what do we do?
There's at least 3 humans here who haven't abandoned their... We still fight for this city. I figure that as soon as we get, like, even the hints of a cure, they send everything they have after us. Well, I say everything they have.
I mean, the hordes are coming.
Why do I hear horde music? Oh shit! Where's the Vermintide horde music? I'll just start playing that during the session next week.
Yeah, it's time to see if Siegfried is worth his salt.
Escaping horde. Here we go.
Well, let's fucking hope for good rolls, but if worse comes to pass, this is a much better death scene than dying from a freaking giant rat. Dying from a horde of Skaven sounds more badass.
More like, you know, your ancestor might be proud of you.
I'm sure you'll do fine.
Of course, Zach. It still amuses me how Highwayman, which has the careeristics duelist, has the trappings of 2 pistols and a riding horse and a noble guard, by the way, which is like more than twice as expensive as the duelist trappings.
You know what the thing that makes I laugh the most at is out of all the jobs, no one decided to be a rat catcher.
To be fair, we didn't know we were fighting Skavens at the start.
I mean,
true.
I mean, I had a feeling, but that's because I'm a massive fantasy nerd, so we'll just excuse that.
Yep.
Also, as is actually deduced who the big bad is from what he knows.
Sneaky.
Not that it's going to change much.
Still going to die horribly.
It's like
I cannot confirm nor deny.
I will say, I feel like having it introduced with like a pair of Skaven in the background on a platform playing an organ.
You know what? Why the fuck not? The Skavens are these scuffed villains.
It's like as over the top as possible.
That's how you should.
Yeah, what makes the difference between a villain and a supervillain? Presentation!
And you could just have the fucking organ just crash in the background, turn off the music, have him swear at it, and it just comes back on again.
I'm going to head off for now. Thank you for the session, Zach. I'm going to be panicking all week now.
Be be late next week. See what happens.
I'm hoping I don't have to go into the office next week, and if I do, I'm just gonna say I don't feel well. So
I can't come in.
I'm not arriving. I'm not arriving 30 minutes late to the fucking to the next
Right.
session.
Yeah.
So yeah, we used your body as a meat shield for the Skaven, and you're now dead underneath the stairs. But we made it out alive! Yay!
So I can't come into work today. Why is that? I have explosive diarrhea.
A rat
that-
problem
yeah,
is okay.
You joke, but my stomach has been playing up recently. So, but yeah, anyway, I'm gonna head off for now. I'll speak to you a lot later.
Yeah.
Yep.
Bye.
Later.
I think I'm gonna also bounce. Think about this shit.